Hey everyone, you're watching the Esperanza 243, another book reading video. Sorry I posted so late. And if it's still Friday for you, sorry I posted late. Super late. I got a lot to read, so I'm just gonna start it out right now. Garnett, we need to talk, and I would like it if you stay on the subject. Garnett nodded. Yes, Aunt Kaylee. I know you're trying to solve a mystery, but in the end, you're going to have to make a decision. She started to explain. What decision is that? She replied. She bit her lower lip. You'll need to figure out whether you're going to stay in this underwater city or live on land. Kaylee wiped her eyes before tears started to come. I want to hear it from her, those words I know she's going to say, Kaylee thought. Garnett gasped in horror. Tears started to fill her eyes. I can't believe this. You want an answer now? Now? She cried. That's right, Garnett. Whether you like it or not, you're going to face that choice. Tears fell down her cheeks. I want to know, are you going to choose land or sea? Tears came out of Garnett's eyes and floated away. She gulped. She didn't know what to say. I can't believe you, she cried. You know I have no option. I have to stay here in Aquatica. If I come back, where will I go when it's sunset? I can't sleep in the bathroom tub all night. The high school pool is no option. Where would I go? Kaylee sighed. That's all I wanted to hear, dear. She sniffed. Since you're not coming back, I'll just figure out what to do with your things. I'll buy a new tight suitcase and put some of your clothes in there. I'll put the case on the rocks before I leave for the airport. She paused. I'll keep your collection of I'll keep your collection of shells and this shell, so you can call me whenever you want. Tell your mother I'll look through the albums, but from there you're on your own. She paused again. I love you, Garnett. Enjoy your time with your mother. She put down her shell and looked at the nightstand. She sighed. She put her elbows on her knees and thought of what happened. Then the waterworks started. Garnett was speechless. Her mouth was wide open. The shell in her hand slipped from her grips and fell to the rock ground. It was sturdy enough to keep its original shape. The shell didn't break. Then she swam away from her aunt and relative. She went the wrong way. Instead of going back to the rock sliding entrance, she went forward in the very long tunnel. Amber gasped. Wait, Garnett, she called. She made a face and then turned to her distant relative. We have to stop her. If she goes too far, she might bump into some bad merman, she told her. Amethyst was confused, but only for a second. Oh gosh, not them, she whispered. She looked frightened. I thought they were gone. King Adelaide's banned them. Amber nodded with fear. They're back. They found a way through that little cave not too far from here. She looked around a bit and realized Garnett left her shell. She picked it up and held it close. She looked at Amethyst and then remembered the bad merman. She gasped as they went after Garnet. Garnet swam as far as she could. With her speed, tears were coming down her cheeks. She tried wiping them away, but more were coming down. The bucket around her wrist kept hitting her in the arm as she was moving her arms to swim. It had felt like she was swimming for a long time. Suddenly, she bumped into someone. The merperson turned around as she looked up. "Pardon, miss," the merman said. "I did not know anyone was down here." She wiped her nose as she sniffed. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "Well, it's all right. Just be careful around these parts. It's pretty dangerous." Garnet Garnet nodded in confusion. Then she went ahead and swam on. She looked around. What parts? There wouldn't be another exit for a long time. She did a double take as her eyes widened. There were other mermen around. One of them was carrying a small box and getting impatient. The other was quite cross and stared at the merman she bumped into. The merman became furious. The situation of these three mermen seemed familiar to her. "No, no, 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 no!" he nearly yelled. "I thought I told you two not to bring those down here. It could kill the fish." "We do not want the king to know we're back. We're trying to make sure this is foolproof before doing that." She gasped. She recognized his voice. The cross merman turned toward her. She kept looking forward and swam slowly, letting him think she wasn't listening. "I can't believe my suspicions were right. All this time they were mermen. That would explain the different men I heard the night I was staking out," she thought to herself. She paused. "Wait, if that's them, then this tunnel must lead to that cave I found." She swam on even faster. She looked back. She could still see them, but just barely, which meant they could barely see her. Garnet laid down flat and kept her eyes on them. The partners swam away toward the big area of the tunnel. She widened her eyes. "Mom and Amethyst," she whispered. Her heart was beating fast. She ignored the sound of her heart and prayed her family would be all right. Minutes had passed, and the two partners did not come back. "I can't take it." She took off toward the merman who was holding the small box. When she swam past him, her fin slapped him in the face. He became shocked and accidentally dropped the box. He turned toward her. "Hey, what was the meaning of that?" he cried. Suddenly, the box landed on the ground with a thud. Its lid popped off, and all kinds of little stuffed animals swirled about. He gasped. "No!" he hissed. "No, no, no!" He continued repeating the word as he grabbed as much toys as he could and stuffed them back in the box. Garnet continued swimming and accidentally bumped into the two partners. "Oh, I'm sorry," she rushed. Then she looked at their faces. She held in her gasp and gave them a confused look. "Didn't I pass you earlier?" "You were the one who hurt us. You were the one who hurt us," the boss whispered. His eyes widened with rage. "You eavesdropped on our conversation, didn't you?" There was a short pause. "Didn't you?" The other partner spoke up. "Come on, man. I'm sure she didn't intentionally eavesdrop. You were talking pretty loud when she passed us." "He's right," Garnet agreed. I didn't mean to overhear what you said. She paused and then smiled. I'm Garnet. I'm actually new around here. The two partners became confused. What do you mean? The gentle partner asked. Like, new in this tunnel? She chuckled. I mean, I'm new to the mer world. Their eyes widened. I became a mermaid earlier this week. Suddenly, the bossy partner pulled his partner close. They had a whispered conversation for a while. Then they turned toward her. Would you like to help us? The bossy partner asked as they swam back to the merman with his box. She bit her lower lip. We're setting up a little party for the king of We're setting up a little party for the king of the merfolk. He smirked. Maybe give him a good scare with a surprise. She looked at the other partner. He looked nervous. I don't know. I would like to meet the king. She continued looking at the gentle partner. As she did so, the bossy partner saw that the merman was gathering the last of the swirling toys. He pushed the box and then the merman. He looked back at Garnet with an innocent smile. I have to say, I don't know if I'm ready to meet him. The gentle partner sighed of relief. You'll miss one heck of a party then, the bossy partner told her. Then he realized she was hesitating. What's the matter? I have to tell you, I bumped into someone before bumping into you. He had a box full of, well, it looked like stuffed animals. His eyes widened. He dropped the box when we bumped into each other and the lid just popped off. I didn't mean for it to happen, she rushed. Oh, I know what I was. He dropped the box when we bumped into each other and the lid just popped off. I didn't mean for it to happen, she rushed. The gentle partner chuckled. The other shoved him. Would you like a toy to carry back home? The bossy partner asked with a sly grin. She nodded excitedly. He swam to the box and took one out. Here you go. Be careful not to rip it. She squealed with joy. Oh, thank you. My aunt would love this. She swam back to the waterlogged cave she found earlier that week. The gentle partner stopped her for a second. Where are you going? I thought you were heading the other way, he asked. She gave him a blank look and then shook her head. Oh, right, she muttered. I was heading back to my mom. She chuckled. Now that I have something to give for goodbye to my aunt, I'm heading back to the beach. He gasped. On second thought, I'd better take that toy back, the bossy partner said. She gave him a shocked look. These were handmade, you see. Only a certain amount was made. If people find out there's a new type of stuffed animal... She was about to ask him a question when the other partner beat her to it. Let her off, Doomcough, he muttered to him. It's not like she's going to do show and tell to all her friends and family. It's not even light out yet. He looked at Garnet. Go on, Miss Garnet. I'm sure your aunt will like the toy. Just make sure she doesn't break it. She smiled and swam off to the underwater cave. The bossy partner glared at him. He looked back at the bossy partner. Come off it. She doesn't know. If she did, she wouldn't tell. How would you know? He yelled. What smile and you go soft? I never should have put you for a frickin' partner. he shoved his partner. Suddenly, the two mermen began to physically fight, spitting out hurtful words. At that same moment, Aunt Kaylee was parking her car at the beach parking lot. "I am glad I'm doing this now," she whispered. "If I had done this in the morning, I would end up looking for Garnett." Then she got out of the car, took a suitcase she had bought at a small airport, and walked to the rocky part of the beach. Thankfully, the place was open, and she was able to buy a nice, airtight suitcase. When she approached the rocky part, when she oh shoot. Later, guys.